Hi everybody. I'm sorry for a little bit of lateness. I am using YouTube to stream this for the very first time, and even though I had set everything up yesterday just to make sure that it all would work, I definitely had some technical difficulties now. So I'm going to jump right in. I want to get started. If you're joining us late or you don't get here right away, or a couple of people have messaged me and said that they couldn't make it tonight, but they really wanted to catch the replay, just rest assured that there is going to be a replay and that you will be able to connect to this recording anytime after tonight. So if anytime in the future you want to join us for one of these and you're unable to, you'll definitely be able to always catch a recording here on my YouTube channel. So if you aren't already subscribed or you're not already connected on YouTube, you're going to want to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel just so you can get those replays if you need to, get notifications for our future events. So welcome to the Self-Love Club. If you are new to my work, my name is Carrie Taminia. I'm a love and dating expert and an EFT tapping expert, an energy worker, an author, and a speaker. And I am thrilled to have you here for my very first Self-Love Club event. And I really created this. I just, want to take a few minutes, but I really created this event, because I wanted to set up some consistent, safe, collective space, especially coming off of the year and a half that we just had with COVID. Some of us are still, feeling pretty disconnected and kind of separated, and relationships and love are like my thing. It's what I do. And it's the thing that I'm the most passionate about. And I don't always just mean romantic relationships. I mean the way that we are collectively and energetically connected. And so I wanted to create this regular weekly event, essentially virtual event, where we could spend some time together. You could get some insight, some clarity, and that we could do some energy work, some tapping, which I'm really passionate about, and some meditations together to empower you and allow you to connect and find more clarity and find, again, just to be empowered in your relationships. So I hope that this whole evening speaks to you. I hope that you enjoy this time that we spend together, and I'm, like I said, really excited to have you here. So if you're joining or just joining, this is the first of what I'm hoping will be a weekly occurrence. So every Tuesday at 7 p.m. we will get together here, very much the same way, through the Cosmic Love Portal, and you're more than welcome to join in on any or all of those. So each week we'll be focused on a slightly different theme depending on sort of what's coming up in the cosmos, what I'm being guided to bring up. So just know, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be here for the Self-Love Club, and I will say that wrong 100 times tonight, I'm sure. So again, just thank you for being here. I'm going to start this particular evening with just some channeled guidance. So I'm a claircognizant, psychic intuitive, and I really feel led, before we jump into the tapping, which is going to be super powerful and super great, I feel led to just offer some guidance just to see what's coming up. And I am using one of my favorite decks, which is the Divine Feminine deck. So I'm going to just pull some collective guidance for all of us tonight. And again, if you're just joining, I see people jumping on. Thank you so much for being here. I think that you can chat me if you're here on the live stream. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to do that. Again, this is my first time using this platform specifically, so you'll forgive my lack of familiarity with all of the technical ins and outs. But again, if you're just joining in, we're going to be doing this every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, just coming together for some collective energy work, some guidance, and some, really spending some energetic space on ourselves and on our own evolution and growth and well-being, also while kind of energetically, collectively coming together. So I'm just going to begin with just some general insight for everyone. And again, this applies whether you're single, whether you're taken, whatever brings you here this evening. There's really an important message coming through for all of us collectively this evening about how we're caring for ourselves in the context of our relationships. And so often I think, whether we're in a relationship, whether we're looking for a relationship, whether we're married, single, taken, dating, wherever we kind of are in that process, there is such a human tendency to be other focused, right? Every client I have, every group that I lead, every email that I get, every question I get, on my website, on my forums, on the Cosmic Love Portal, is always about the context of the relationship, right? Always about the relationship, the other person, as if the relationship is functioning outside of us. People want to know, like, well, how can I get him to commit? How can I get her to, stay with me? I'm afraid, of the ending of this relationship. I'm struggling with this conflict. I want to fix this. I want to. And it's really, really, really this kind of imbalanced habit of always looking at our relationships as if they are these things outside of ourselves, as if there's something that we have to effort at or work at or fix or learn from or evolve from. And while that very much can be a message when it comes to our relationships, tonight in this space, I want you to ask yourself, I really want to call you to reflect and think about, how are you viewing your relationships from the perspective of yourself being a participant, from the perspective of yourself being someone who is an active participating member of them? And do you put as much emphasis on your own feelings and your own priorities and your own needs and your own wants and desires as you do figuring out the needs and wants and desires, or the issues or the problems that need to be solved, of the other person that you're either in a relationship with or you're pursuing a relationship with? And so in its simplest form, the message tonight is asking you, how are you prioritizing yourself in your relationships? How are you showing up in your connections? How are you showing up in your dating process? How are you showing up in your existing relationships in a way that really asks you, what do I need? And how can I prioritize myself as an equal participant in my connections? And the answer here, the advice that comes through from your guidance is, are you able to view all of your connections and all of your relationships from a place of growth, from a place of understanding that your relationships and your connections are for you, that they were meant for you, that they're not random, they're not accidental, they're not happenstance. They are an intentional opportunity for you to live your fullest human experience. See, because that's the message here. The message here is not, what does it mean? How do I figure it out? How do I fix it? How do I? The message here for you is, how am I showing up? Am I showing up? Am I viewing my relationships as an opportunity for me to live my fullest, most beautiful, most divinely aligned, oriented experience, human experience on this planet? And can I be present in this moment? And can I prioritize myself and my needs and my wants and my desires just as much as I prioritize figuring out the other person, making the other person stay, wanting to fix all the problems, wanting to find the right person, wanting to be the right person, wanting to, and I talk a lot in my work. And if you're new to my work, or if you're not new to my work, that I talk a lot about how we are biologically designed to connect, and how we are biologically designed to seek approval from other people, right? There's literally a little piece of your brain that makes you want to seek approval from other people. And that part of our brain drives us to try and predict when we might be rejected and predict how to avoid that. And sometimes it will also drive us to adjust or edit or change ourselves in order to figure out how not to experience rejection, how to avoid pain, how to avoid separation. And those are valid, noble causes that helped us survive way back when our ancestors were hunting and gathering and really relied on one another to stay alive. And now, in this moment, that little biological factor that was super, super convenient back then maybe isn't entirely necessary in the same way. And so we come back full circle around to that original question. Are you paying as much attention to yourself and your connections, in your search for connections, in the way that you manage your relationships, in the way that you resolve your conflict? Are you paying as much attention to yourself and your own desires and wants and needs? Are you prioritizing yourself? Are you prioritizing your self-care? Are you prioritizing your self-love in your relationships? And if you're not, the question is, what is preventing you from doing that? Is it that you don't believe that you deserve to be a priority? Is it that you are so entangled in the process of fixing, or so entangled in the process of avoiding hurt or pain or rejection or disconnection, that you are so inclined to put the emphasis on the other person or the relationship that prioritizing yourself might feel selfish or wrong? Is it that you don't know how to prioritize yourself? Perhaps your model for relationships when you were a child or growing up was never one that gave permission for prioritizing yourself, wasn't one that gave permission for really asking yourself what you needed or wanted in the moment. And so whatever the answer to that question is for you is what I would challenge you to focus on this week. And as we move into our tapping together, I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to understand that while you are biologically created to not want to be rejected or separated and to want to be in connection and relationship with other people, you are also a priority, and you deserve not only to be treated as a priority by other people, but to treat yourself as a priority. And if you aren't, there's a bigger story there behind that. And as we move into the tapping tonight, I want you to start to be open to what that bigger story might be. What is that thing that's blocking you or preventing you from making yourself a priority in your relationships, from moving through your connections with other people, whether it's romantic or it's not, in a way that allows you the full capacity of your own self being important no matter what, of your own self being a priority in all of your connections. If you are new to tapping, and if you have never done this with me before or with anyone before, it is a very simple somatic acupressure-based practice that combines the tenets of psychology with acupressure and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to create space to not only bring down the stress levels, bring down attachments, bring down limiting beliefs in our unconscious mind, but also to create space for new beliefs, new attachments, and new learnings. It is clinically proven to lower stress, lower anxiety, work on PTSD, and to open you up to considering new truths and new ideas. It is very, very easy, and one of the reasons that I love it is that it's so accessible. So all you have to do to participate in this tapping with me tonight, I'm going to adjust myself back here, is follow along with me. You're going to press or tap on the points on your body that I press or tap on, and you will repeat the words that I say out loud if you can. Now, because this is a group situation, it is important that you understand that I'm going to say things that may not feel true for you, right? They may not resonate. But there's something really important about the collective energy here, this collective environment. And so don't worry about those. Say them, repeat them. It's not going to hurt anything in the process, or change the words so they do feel like they apply to you. Either way, that participating in this energy practice is going to be what shifts you, which is going to be what releases those blocks. It's going to be what moves that energy. So again, very easy. All you're going to do is follow along. Pay attention to any emotions, any stories, any memories, any specific memories of specific people that might pop up while we're doing this. Those are your unconscious mind giving you clues around this theme, and they can be very important. Absolutely jot those down if you have the space, if you have a pen and paper with you, or jot them down after we're finished. Either way, but they are important, so pay attention to that. Okay, so to begin, again, EFT tapping, clinically proven. I will share more information with you. If you want that, you can drop me a note in the chat, and I'm happy to answer any questions when we're finished. In the meantime, we're going to start on the side of our hand. So you're just doing what I do, lightly tapping with 2 or 3 fingers and repeating out loud after me if you're able to. Even though I have not always treated myself like I was very important, right here and right now, I'm okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself. Even though I haven't always felt like a priority in my relationships. And the people I've been connected to haven't always made me feel like a priority either. Right here and right now, I'm okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though there's part of me that really wants to be someone's priority. And there's another part of me that doesn't feel like I deserve it. Right here and right now, I'm okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Okay, we're going to move up to your eyebrow point, which is right here at the beginning of your eyebrow if you're new, and again, you're just following after me. I haven't always been treated like a priority. And I really want to be someone's priority. I want to feel like I'm important. And my relationships, now and in the past, haven't always made me feel that way. And in those moments, when I feel like I'm not important, it really hurts. It's painful. And under your arm. But the truth is, I haven't always treated myself like a priority either. Top of your head. How can I expect other people to treat me like a priority if I don't treat myself like a priority? Back to your eyebrow point. How can I ask other people to make me feel important when I don't always believe that I'm important? And even though it hurts, makes me angry and sad. When the people in my life and the people I care about don't treat me like a priority. Deep down, there's some part of me that wonders if they're right. I didn't learn how to be a priority. No one showed me that it was okay to prioritize myself. And so I didn't. And I didn't expect anyone else to either. Instead, I keep hoping and waiting that someone will. But maybe it's time, top of your head, that I pave that avenue for myself. Maybe. Okay, we're going back to the side of your hand when you're ready. Even though I haven't treated myself like a priority either. Even though I really wanted other people to. Right here and right now, I'm okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've been working a really long time to figure out all the relationship stuff, all those connections that have given me stress or anxiety, frustration. And I haven't always been able to figure it out. Right here and right now, I'm okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though part of me has a really hard time believing and acting like I am a priority. Right here and right now, I choose to be open to changing that. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Okay, we're going back up to your eyebrow point again. I want to be a priority. But the truth is, I haven't been great at treating myself that way. Maybe it's possible that if I set the standard, my relationships will follow. Maybe it's possible that the universe has been calling me all along to be the priority that I am. And to treat myself like the priority that I am. Maybe that was the lesson all along. What if I was just as concerned with my own wants and needs and desires? as I was figuring out everyone else's. What if I showed up as a priority in every one of my relationships, romantic or not? What if viewing my relationships from the highest perspective means I have to view myself from the highest perspective? What if learning from my relationships and seeing them as my soul would see them also requires me to see myself the way my soul sees me? Maybe it's possible I am a priority. Maybe it's possible no matter what I learned before, I always have been. Maybe it's possible no matter what I learned from anyone else, I am the most important person in my own life. And that I can only prioritize others in a balanced way when I've learned to prioritize myself. What if that would change everything? And what if that small part of me that's not sure I'm really important and that wonders if I deserve it is really just ready to unlearn everything I've learned about myself that isn't really true? Okay, and back to the side of your hand one more time when you're ready. Even though I picked up a lot of things along the way, beliefs and assumptions about myself, about my self-worth, about connections, and about love that may not be true. Right here and right now, I am okay. And I am grateful that I am still able to learn new things. Even though I haven't always treated myself like a priority. And it's hard sometimes to see myself the way the universe sees me, the way God sees me, the way my soul would see me. Right here and right now, I am okay. And I am so glad that it is never too late to choose something different. And even though I've struggled in the past, in this moment, I choose to see myself from the highest perspective. And I choose to see my relationships from the highest perspective. Because that perspective is the one that's true. And I am so grateful for new choices and new opportunities to treat myself like a priority. Okay, back to your eyebrow points one more time, right at the beginning of that eyebrow. I am important. I am a priority. I deserve to be treated like a priority. By others and by myself. And here in this moment, I choose to commit to seeing myself through the lens of my soul. In this moment, I choose to set a standard for all of my interactions with myself and others, that I am a priority. I am not a second option. I'm not anyone else's second choice. And I'm not my own second choice. I deserve to be treated like a priority. I deserve to be treated like I'm important. And starting here and now, I accept nothing less. And it starts with me. My message of self-love is this: I am a priority in all of my interactions, and it is safe to prioritize myself. It is safe to prioritize myself. No matter what I learned before, or how many people have led me to second guess it, I am a priority. I am worthy of being a priority. I am valuable. And I forgive myself for all the times I've forgotten. I forgive myself for all the times I lost sight of my divine worth and value. I choose to remember that I am loved and that I deserve to be treated as a priority. I choose to remember that it is safe to take care of myself. I choose to remember that it is safe to prioritize myself. And my lesson right now is that in order to view my relationships from the highest perspective, in order to see and understand my connections, from the perspective of the universe, I also have to see myself from the perspective of the universe. And I take that image with me now. I am worthy. I am valuable. I am loved. I am safe. And I am a priority for myself and others. Taking a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And just to round out this experience, what I'd like you to do now is take one hand and place it over your heart. And then using 2 or 3 fingers in your other hand, I want you to press or tap this point right between the knuckle of your pinky and the knuckle of your ring finger. If you just glance at the screen, you can see me holding that position. This acupressure point is called the gamut point and helps lower our subconscious mind's resistance to change. And I want you to take a moment, closing your eyes, continuing to breathe comfortably. And I want you to imagine in your mind's eye that there's a white globe floating right in front of you, just a few inches in front of your face. And in that globe, I want you to imagine that there's an image of you, just as you are right now. And as you look at that image of yourself, as you imagine seeing that picture of yourself in that white globe, I want you to imagine that you begin to see that image sparkle, like it's filled with light, glittering, sparkling, magic. And as that glittering, sparkling light gets more and more intense, it amplifies. I want you to begin to feel that same magical, sparkling, glittering light inside of yourself. Imagine that light and that image of yourself filled with magic, filled with power, filled with universal light coming directly into your heart. And imagine with each breath that it begins to expand, allowing that light, that magic, that power, that image of yourself to fill your entire body, every cell, every space, bringing with it all of those choices that we made this evening, all of those decisions that we are a priority, that we deserve nothing less, that you can hold yourself in the perspective of your highest self, of the universe, of your soul. Imagine that sparkling, glittering, magical light expanding all through your body, down to the tips of your fingers and the bottoms of your feet, expanding outward past the bounds of your body, surrounding you like an aura. And then imagine sending that same light out from your heart. Imagine it coming through your hand and sending it out to the universe, creating an infinite loop of sparkling, white, magical light. Always there to remind you that you are a priority and you deserve to be treated like nothing less. By others, of course, and by yourself. And then take a moment and repeat after me out loud. There are parts of me that have been healed by this. And there are parts of me that have not yet been healed. The parts of me that have not yet are willing to learn from the parts that have. My mind, body, spirit, and energy system are accepting that information now. New neural pathways. The information transfer is complete. I'm grateful. Thank you. Together, divine. I want you to take one more deep breath in through your nose, releasing out through your mouth whenever it feels comfortable. You can drop your hands, open your eyes if you haven't already. And I just want to thank you for being in this space with me, for participating in this process with me. And I would challenge you to continue to consider and think about, as this week goes by, about how you do or you don't prioritize yourself. Not just in your relationships, not just in your romantic relationships, but in all areas of your life. Where have you made yourself an option? Where have you made yourself the second choice? And where have you been allowing other people to treat you like you're an option? And trust me when I tell you that the universe, that God, that your soul never intended for you to be treated like an option. Everything about your human experience is on purpose and intentional and for you. Not optional. You weren't sent here to be optional. And you deserve more than being someone's second choice, third choice, fourth choice, and so on. If you're looking for something to do throughout this week until we meet again next Tuesday, if you choose to join us, I really would invite you to think about not only where those places are in your life that you perhaps have allowed yourself to be treated like you aren't a priority, but think of some tangible, actionable steps, some tangible things that you can do for yourself, whether that be caring for yourself, whether it be committing to learning something new or doing something you've always wanted to do, whether it be setting boundaries in a relationship that really needs it, whether it be ending a relationship maybe that really needs to be ended, whether it be opening yourself up to a new experience or anything else you could possibly imagine, where you could tangibly treat yourself like a priority, to start to pave that avenue, to start to line that street, that neural pathway in your mind, I am a priority, that one, in a way that makes it habit, in a way that invites you to keep practicing showing up and treating yourself like a priority. That's your homework, I guess, for lack of a better term, for this week. Where are you allowing yourself to be treated like you aren't a priority? And how can you begin? What are tangible, actionable things you can do to begin prioritizing yourself? If at any point, if you're catching the replay or now, or at any point you want to let me know how this felt for you, what came up for you, or maybe some of the things that you are deciding in this moment to do for you, if you want to share any of that with me, I would be grateful and really appreciative of the feedback. I hope that this served you. I hope that you are feeling good. I hope that you are feeling aligned. I hope you are remembering in the depth of your being that you are important in every way. And I hope that you continue to connect with me as we move forward on this platform, or if I find another one that I kind of like better. Again, we're doing Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Replays and recordings will, of course, be available if you miss one or you can't make it. Please feel free to share with anybody that you think might also benefit from this. And I appreciate you so much. And I love you, and I hope that this served you. And for anybody that was interested, because someone did ask me, this was the card that tonight's message came from. Again, I'm using the Divine Feminine deck, and the card was the Empress, and you can see it here. It's really, really beautiful. I'll remember in future calls to show that at the beginning. But if you wanted to do additional kind of exploratory work, again, this is kind of the Divine Mother of the Tarot, and she always calls us into care. And so how are you caring for yourself? How are you making yourself a priority was our theme for tonight. And remember, you cannot view your relationships from the highest perspective of the universe or your soul without also viewing yourself from the highest perspective of the universe or your soul. And that's where your journey begins. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great night. And thank you again for being here.